Okay, so I've got some few different parts here. I've got to kind of expand what we've done before with a single acting cylinder, but now we need two lines. Single acting cylinder usually needs one line, so now we need two lines because we need to power this indicator here. This what do they call it? Rotary indicator, probably. Let's see, rotary. Oh, let's look it up. So I'm not. It's an actuator, rotary actuator. So they're calling it rotary actuator. Rotary. When we looked up rotary, we need to be in actuators. For pneumatics, that's not enough, so we have to go to actuators if we're looking for the rotary. See how I'm toggling between the two sections here? So we're going to look for a rotary actuator. We're going to pull that rotary actuator in. Let's connect him to our line up there. But now we need another line with another flow meter and another variable throttle. Let me just copy this guy. Control, copy. And then for our manual push button, momentary push button, 5-2 valve, we want this right box. It still has a spring return, so we want this right box to match. We need to switch these two basically. So let's double click on this guy. Just double click on the right box and let's switch it to go off to the right. So this guy looks right. Double check, it's good. Okay, and this left box now needs to look like this left box in the diagram. So it needs to go up to the left and have a plug. Let's see here, right there. That should work. Okay. You can go up to the left and allow flow through there. And it's manual, push button, momentary, spring return, hit check mark. All right, so that guy's switched. Let's get rid of this plug here. So it was normally closed because it had a plug. We had a normally closed position here. Now, normally closed, normally open doesn't necessarily make sense because it's not closed. It's either going one way or the other. Okay, so we wouldn't call it a normally closed or normally open valve. So I'm going to connect to this variable throttle, but this one's in the wrong direction. If you look at this diagram here, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, this one is opposite on the check ball, so we need to flip this guy over. So let's disconnect the line first. Let's click on him. And we're going to go to our edit tab and our layout here. We're going to do position and we're going to flip this horizontally across the horizontal line. Flip it over. There we go. Now it matches the diagram. And this matters because that's going to control the flow in one direction or the other. We don't want them the same because then they're both doing the same thing, but we want one flow meter to control the movement to the left and one control the movement to the right. So they control opposite directions. So let's connect those over. Let's hold control down, then left click on this device and drag it out here and then connect him in. So it copied it over. Let's make a line there to there. And then what else do we need? We have our rotary actuator, our flow meters, our variable throttle, our, what do they call these? I call them variable one directional flow meters. So variable throttle devices and flow control, variable throttle valves. Yes. There we go. Variable non-return throttle valve is what we're calling them in Automation Studio. It's variable. We can set the opening. It's only one direction, that's the non-return, and then it's a throttle valve because it's controlling the amount of flow going through. Here is a momentary push button. Like we said, it's in the right direction. We have the two exhaust guys here, these exhaust indicators, but we're missing a few things from our diagram. We need a lubricator, a regulator, and a filter. So we can go in here and type filter and separator. We can just put it right in the line and it connects them. Looks like we're not gonna have enough room for the regulator in there. So let's try to move some things out. Move that guy out. Let's make some room. Let's try to get the regulator now. Regulator. So I'm just typing regulator, and if I don't see it, I want to click on pneumatics or click through the pneumatic sections here to make sure I find it. If I line it up, there it's connected. Then I need a lubricator. Lubricator there. Pull him in. Make sure it has enough room. It's connected. Then I have this is this pressure gauge. Pressure gauge. This is the device I'm using there. And again, this is a 5-port, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-port, 2-position, manually operated push button, momentary push button, spring return, directional control valve. Now I don't want to say normally closed or normally open because it's not a closed or open situation here. Then if I hit play, I can see that my pressure is coming from the pressure source through the conditioning of the air section here, where I'm conditioning the air for whatever device I'm using, and I come in through this right side, and so this the air is coming through this right side, but you would think that, well, then my right throttle valve is controlling the flow to make it turn counterclockwise, but it's not. This directional air is going to go and push this check ball out of the way and flow freely to the right. But the air being exhausted from the rotary actuator, it is going to go this way and be free to flow through this check ball also. So I do have a situation here where both these flow controls, when rotating counterclockwise, the air has no resistance through the flow lines of these, or through these variable throttle lines. But when I'm going the other way, they do. One is going to throttle the exhaust, and one is going to throttle the intake. So I push it again, it's building pressure and then causing rotation clockwise when I push my button.